clap
Sick.
super hard. Not blinded action.
All right. This is episode 2
Of the TG podcast. The Thank God podcast. Back again.
Yes.
They tried to take us out with the first one. They thought we weren't going to come back. They didn't believe in us.
They didn't.
But God did.
You heard?
And here we are.
Honey. My wife's gonna slap me. Anyways, so how you been?
Brother, I have been so blessed. You know life is good when you go to work and you actually enjoy yourself. Today was actually
That is true.
one of the hardest days of work, but it was still actually enjoyable. Like, bro, I didn't think I was actually gonna like my job like that for real, but I really, really enjoy it, if I'm being honest. Like, it gets hard, and sometimes I have no idea what I'm doing, but when I figure things out, it's so satisfying. Like, it's actually a crazy feeling. I'm like, bro, I might be the first person in the world who enjoys their job, bruh. And it's not just like a
Glad to hear
slave
it.
to the white man.
No,
I'm feeling good.
that's I'm happy for you. That's sick, cause like freaking I know that, I know a little bit of that moment, like what that feels like. I'd say at my previous job. I'd say my jobs that I have or have had, I've never hated the work. I just hate working in general. But once I'm there, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good to go. You know what I mean? Like, I could do this all day.
Okay.
I could do this overnight. It's just like the whole like getting up to go to work and stuff.
That part is rough.
But I get what you mean by like actually loving your job even though it's a hard day. That's
Yeah.
very rare. And when you have those days, they're good.
And it's weird, like
Good days.
saying it, I'm like, okay, everyone probably thinks I'm just like lying or something, right? Or like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just too young or something. But it's the truth. Like, your job, like, sometimes can be really hard, but if it's satisfying, like, actually doing what you gotta do, it makes it worth it and not too bad. As a matter of fact, I didn't even take a break today. I worked the entire time and then just came home. I mean, I took a nap after when I came home, but, like, I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't eat anything all day. I didn't take a break or anything. I just worked the whole time. And it felt good. It felt good. And I'm only an intern right now. Like, once I get hired on full time, oh my gosh. Like, my hours honestly won't
only
change
thing
that
you would
much,
need-
but we'll get paid more, so that'll be hype.
The only thing you need, I feel like the only thing that would complete like your satisfaction would be like if the whatever you're working on was something new, and then by the end of it you understood it or you like completed it. That's so satisfying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I kind of get that, like, low-key every day.
Like actually learning, because that's like that's like the only way you learn. You know what I mean? It's something you don't
Yeah.
know, and then you kind of like look into it, you kind of figure it out. You're like, oh my god, I get this now. I understand. That's so satisfying.
Yeah, I feel like it's like that for me, like,
So-
every day, because I have to learn new things, like, all the time. Bruh, I'm learning on the job, bruh. Like, not even learning on the job in the sense where I just, like, mess with things to figure it out. I have to literally, like, look up tutorials and whatnot, how to do things as I'm working. It's not like I'm, like, being, like, a bad worker. Like, I actually have to do this to figure things out. I do it all the time. But it actually is learning because I'm using these things all the time. Like, you know, school, it's like, okay, study this thing, use it, never use it again. But, like, working, it's like, I'm using stuff every day, bruh. It's not just, like, a one-time thing at all, which makes it so good. I'm like, bro, I'm actually getting smarter now, bruh. Swear to God, going to college, I lost the ability to read. Like, straight up, I can't even read anymore. But, like, the like, 4 months I've had at work, oh, my gosh. I can feel my brain getting so big, bruh.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that is so true. Freaking, okay, so for my degree, for my whatever, I only had to take one math class, and it's intro to discrete math.
Oh, I heard
which
that discrete
is-
math is awful.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough. I'll tell you that. All right. And to be honest, I'm not the best at math. I'm just not. I hate math. I've always hated math. I think the only math that I've probably liked was like geometry. I think that was probably the
Ooh,
only math that
geometry
I
was
actually liked, 'cause
awesome.
I was pretty good at it. That was the only one I was decent at. Everything else, hated it. And I haven't taken a math class, like an actual math class, since my junior year of high school, because I was like, well, junior year, I'm done with all my classes. I think the last class I took there at my high school was Algebra 2. I think that's the only thing they had
Mhm.
to take. So I was like, well, I'm done. I'm not going to take another class. And so then I didn't have a math class my freshman year, or actually,
Really?
that's a lie. I was supposed to take discrete my freshman
What?
year, but because my classes and stuff were not my freshman year, my second term of freshman. I'm like my, because it's like just the semester. But because my classes were full, I didn't take it.
Wow.
So I was gonna take it my sophomore year, but I kind of like pushed back on it because I was like, I do not want to take this class.
Mhm.
So I just took it like last semester.
Wow.
So I had gone, I don't know how many years that is, like 3, almost 4 years between taking.
Oh,
my
without taking
math
any
class. So when I
math
got
class.
into it,
Jesus.
it was rough. It was rough.
Bro, you had it bad.
I was like, dude, what the hell is a fraction?
Exactly,
Nah,
bro.
it was just tough. It was just tough, and yeah, I hate discrete math. I didn't even take the actual discrete math. I took intro to discrete.
Was it
math.
required?
But yeah, that's the only like math class that's required for my major.
That's
thank
crazy.
God. I have to take introduction, or I think it is an introduction. It's introduction to computation this semester, or this Monday starts. That's, I've heard, is a lot of math as well, but.
And what's your major?
A little worried. Cyber operations.
Cyber operations.
So it's a cybersecurity class, basically.
Gotcha.
So I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff, like programming.
Mm.
Like I will say, like, I've like the only programming classes, and I need to get on this. Like, I need to teach myself Python, because the only classes I've taken on coding have been computer science 1 and 2, reverse engineering, or I should say assembly
Reverse
language.
engineering. Wait, what language did you
Reverse
use
engineering,
for the
which
computer
is
science
using
one?
assembly. We just use C.
Oh, okay.
Both years. Assembly language, reverse engineering.
What the hell is reverse
which
engineering?
uses that just uses assembly language,
Oh, but
basically.
it's called
So
that?
like we would
To be
take
intimidating?
so we would take well, it's basically like we would look at code, we would look at programs, we would use some software to like deconstruct it down to like assembly language. So you basically would have to translate, like, okay, this program is doing this, and this is what it would look like in assembly, and then we kind of like try to recreate, like, there's times where we would try to recreate the code in assembly, and then see if we could figure out like the assignment would be like, there's this program and you need to get into it, and it looks like it's accepting like a 3-letter character to be the password.
Yeah.
Try to figure out the password. And so we would that's what we would do. We would deconstruct the code and then recreate it and see, like, compare.
Ooh, that sounds interesting, actually.
I was not that good at it, but it was still good. It was fun.
Yes, sir.
I like coding is probably what I don't like at all. I like the more analysis type stuff, and also just like pen testing, which kind of involves writing your own script sometimes. But coding is definitely not my strongest suit.
Hey, it's where the money's at, though.
Money is there.
That's why we're here, making the big bucks. But and it's satisfying too. Like, I didn't get into it because I actually enjoyed it. I just wanted a lot of money. But the more I got into it, the more I was like, okay, this is actually kind of like really satisfying. Clap.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you could say clap.
Boom.
Anyways.
Wait, that's genius. Clap sync, but just saying clap. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, what was I saying before? I accidentally stopped my recording. That's why there's gonna be a little gap in this. But anyways, let's just transition. All right. Can you give me a transition sound effect?
Transition.
That's
That's a
it.
transition.
That's okay.
Every time.
I saw the Sonic movies with my wife over the weekend. We saw.
And it was the greatest movie of all time?
The first one was actually pretty solid.
Yes, sir. I knew it.
The second one was okay. It was a little bit more childish, but we were still here for it. And we're actually a little excited to watch the third one.
And then the third one. Wait, you haven't seen it, or you have?
No, we haven't.
What? What is wrong with you? What is the holdup?
It's in theater, or I don't. It's
Exactly,
Not
it's in
not
theater. It
it's
might
not
go
theaters
away,
anymore.
bro.
No, it's not in theaters anymore. It's not in theaters
What?
anymore.
Why did you take so long? Bro,
We
how do
weren't
you
allowed
even
to
be the
go.
last guy at the party,
We weren't allowed to
bro?
go, bro. We weren't allowed to go.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. No, we
Bro, I
I
wanted to
guess
hear you actually talk about the new movie. That's
I
so
guess I
sad.
guess I haven't even looked up on it, bro. Okay,
And he
you
trolled.
hold on. I'm about to fact
Now
check
I feel like I
myself.
gotta watch all the movies now.
Fact
Because
check
I've only
myself.
seen like the first few minutes of the first one. And I saw there was a Sonic reference and I was like, wait, is this movie actually really good? They didn't actually just make a cash
Hold
grab
on, bro.
movie.
It is in theaters. Hold on, bro. It's in theaters today.
Oh, okay. Well, you're gonna see it tonight then. Podcast over.
7:35.
Podcast ended early tonight, guys. Gotta see a Sonic movie. You know what? Funny enough, I actually forgot that we were doing the podcast today. And while I was at
Bruh.
work, I actually wanted to go on Fandango and see what movies were out. I kind of wanted to
Bruh.
go home and watch a movie.
Bruh.
All right, so I guess we're closing up shop early. Gonna go see the Sonic movie, guys. We'll be back.
No,
We'll be back
okay.
next week.
9:55. I can catch that. Anyways, no, it was actually really good. The first one was actually pretty funny, and like it's weird though because when I was sitting in the theater when the first Sonic movie came out, I remember thinking like, bro, why? And then because which movie came out first, the Mario movie or we're gonna say we're gonna say the
The
Mario
Sonic
movie came
movie.
out. Oh, okay.
Because I remember the
Okay.
internet was dunking on the Sonic design before the Mario movie came
Okay,
out.
yeah. Okay. So then when the Mario movie came out and I watched it, I was like, dang, maybe they're actually onto something. Like they actually could make good stuff, right? And then the Minecraft movie trailer came out, and I was like, dang, okay, maybe this is maybe maybe Nintendo's the only one who can make like kids movies good. But I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm happy that the Sonic fandom is eaten. You know what I mean? I'm just happy that they're getting
Yeah.
good movies because when the second movie came out, or I hadn't even seen the trailer, but when I heard that it was getting released, I was like, oh dang. So then I looked at the reviews, and people were pretty like positive about it. So I was like, you know what? I'm happy that this small group of people are getting their happiness, or I don't even know what would be the right word. I'm happy that they're getting their movie. You know what I mean?
No, that's real. I think the furry like fandom has been dying for a
There
long,
we
long
go.
time. They haven't gotten anything good in forever, bro. When's the last time Sonic had a good game?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Like I think it's actually been over a decade. So Sonic fans have not been eating for years
That's true.
with any kind of content. Their own like original franchise of being a game
Well,
hasn't been good.
it's funny. It's funny that you say that though, because when after I watched the second Sonic movie, I got a TikTok that was about a Reddit post, and in the Reddit post, it was a guy who was mad about the second Sonic movie. He was saying how he's
Oh, here we go,
a
bruh.
diehard Sonic fan, and how he's mad that they changed the character of Sonic and they made him more childish.
And his
and a
name was
bunch of
Sammy.
stuff. But I saw he was kind of getting dunked on, to be honest. And the
As
one
he
thing that was
should,
funny
bruh.
was that a guy responded. He was like, "Bro, you have no idea what you're talking about." He was like, "We are eating good." He was all like, "Nobody cared about us before these movies, and now they do." And I was like, "You know what? I'm happy for you. I'm happy."
Bro, that guy
for you."
was their messiah, the messiah of all Sonic fans, bro. The guy who spoke up. That's kind of real though, to be honest, because I really did think that Sonic was gonna like kind of die out. Like Sonic is one of those things that like, it was kind of like a nerdy thing to like Sonic when I was a kid, I would say, and it was kind of rare. But as I was getting older and older, it was like Sonic was kind of dying out. Like no one even talked about him ever. I'm like, damn, it's kind of sad. Like I didn't consume Sonic like that when I was a kid, but I did think he was cool.
I never
I don't want
actually
anything
played.
that's like cool to just die out like that.
I've never played any of the Sonic games, to be honest. The only Sonic
Yes, you have.
games
You played
I've played
the
were Mario
Olympics
and,
one.
Yeah, yes. That's what
Yeah, I'm like,
Mario
you
and
played the
Sonic,
Olympics
Mario
game.
and Sonic at the at the Olympics 2013, Olympics 2014, Winter Olympics. Those were the games I played. Or actually, I did play a Mario Kart, a Sonic version of Mario Kart. That one was actually pretty fun. I don't
Oh, the
remember
Sega
what's-
one?
Yeah.
That
Sega
one is
Racers
actually
or whatever.
so
was
good.
pretty
Oh
good.
my gosh, bro. Talk about forgotten gems, bro. That game came out when I was too young. If I was older, I promise you I would be ranked 1 in the world, bro. That game was insane. But you haven't played any actual Sonic game, like mainline Sonic game before?
I think I've played like the original one, probably like once or twice, just because I've always like I've always, for some reason, in my house, there's just always been one of those like 6001 consoles. You know, those like bootleg consoles. I've just
Mm.
always had one my entire life.
Oh, those. Oh my
So,
God.
so I'm pretty
Bro,
sure
those
like
like
that's
50
how
and
I
one
played.
games they had, bruh.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's how I've played.
Mm. Really, I'm surprised. I thought you would have. Did you ever have a Wii?
I did, but I just never. Bro, we were broke.
I would say Sonic had a lot of bangers on the Wii. Or at least when I was a kid, they were bangers. Like Sonic Unleashed. That was pretty fun.
But
Where
I
he
also
became a
never
werewolf.
even like watched Sonic, even like the cartoons like that. You remember how we were talking to Jamal the other day, and
Mm.
I showed him or we were playing the intros and stuff. Like I remember watching those cartoons when I was younger, but I never like
Got into them?
consumed them. Yeah, I never like consumed them wholeheartedly like I did other
Yeah.
stuff. It was just like, well, Sonic, guess I'll watch it.
Sonic. And look at you now, Sonic's biggest fan.
Yeah, for real. No,
How the
the movies were
turntables.
actually pretty good, and like Jim Carrey does a pretty good job, and like me and my
Is
wife
he the
were pretty
Carrie
funny.
of the movie?
he, he's a good part of it. I wouldn't say that he's like the. I wouldn't say that he like without him there wouldn't be a good Sonic movie. He's just a really solid part of it. You know what I mean? Like he really does
Okay.
fit the role, good.
Gotcha.
My funniest thing is the fact that he came out like of retirement to just do these movies. Like he's
Yeah,
doing
that's
them
it.
willingly.
He doesn't want to do anything else besides Sonic. What a
For
goat, bro. He going
real.
out with a bang, bro. Bro, imagine he was still in like the original Sonic design movie. Like they released that, and that's what he stuck with. Bro, that would have been the good timeline, bro.
Yeah. I actually saw. Have you seen that they like Ugly Sonic appeared in another in a Disney
And the
film?
like Chip and Dale thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought that was.
I was
pretty
like, wow,
cool
I'm glad they actually like used that.
too. Yeah.
Like Ugly Sonic did not die out. I'm here for that.
Have you seen
But
the meme?
that's
It's
my
of, like
Sonic, bro.
original Tails design, and it's that like
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a fox.
Yeah, bro. The crackhead tails, bro.
Yeah.
That one was so funny. I really do miss the original design so much, bro.
I actually do kind of like. I wonder if people would have liked it. Like, I kind of wonder if they did release it, if people would have given it the same hype. You know what I mean? Like, actually watched it, and it would have like we would have gone. We would have gone
Bro.
3 movies of that design.
No, bro. It literally would have ended at the first one if it kept the original Sonic design, which is so sad. Like, unless I stepped in and bought like 50 tickets every night, bro, to make up for it, no, it would have just been raps for Sonic. The fans would have been starving still. Except me. I would have been so happy.
I'm also funny. I'm also funny. I'm also hyped that Idris Elba like is in the movie. It's just like a weird. It's weird to think that he would be in that movie too, in Sonic, the sequel as Knuckles,
Yeah, I think that is weird that they used him.
like him, and then to hear like Keanu Reeves as Shadow, like it's just like, these are when I think of them, I'm like these are very serious serious men. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like Jim Carrey's like a silly, goofy guy, so it's all like, yeah, of course he's in this. Like,
Makes sense, yeah.
yeah.
Really comical villain.
but it's like the fact that these two guys, who I consider very serious, like adult actors, are in this kid's
Definitely
movie.
Idris Elba,
It just
bruh.
makes me laugh.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. And Knuckles even got his own show too.
Yeah, I was seeing that.
I was like, what?
We didn't watch that.
I'm like,
but
is
I
there an
saw it.
audience for this? Besides the
It's-
2 furries, bro, that want to consume all the Sonic content?
It's the SCU, the Sonic Cinematic Universe.
Seems like it. We need that alternate reality Sonic movie now where we get all the original designs.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be awesome. But definitely want to check out all those movies for sure. After this podcast, I might actually watch the first one. And you said you've seen it.
I just texted my wife. I was like, "You want to go to the movies tonight?" I was like, "Let's go watch Sonic." I'm waiting for a response.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No,
I'll definitely
I
gonna try
definitely
to
am
catch up
hyped
on
for
them.
the third one.
I'm
Like I said, I would recommend them. They're good. They're good. All right, I'm gonna move that over to the completed Sonic movies.
All right. Transition.
Nice. Okay, so this is the only thing we've prepared for. Other than this, we're gonna have no prep time whatsoever. All right, in the
Mhm.
future, no prep time whatsoever.
No prep
But-
time.
All right. Here's a scenario. You're an intern, and
I'm
your
an
boss
intern.
turns over to you and he says, "All right, man, the MCU is failing.
Ooh.
We need you to create our roadmap, or or we need you to save the franchise."
We need to bring it home.
What do you do? Essentially, how are you going to recreate this cinematic universe of Marvel characters in your image?
Alright, so first of all, we gotta wipe the minds of every single person on the planet. The MCU has done too much damage, right? People are too locked into it. They think, oh, I know comics. I've seen the MCU. No, bro, you don't know anything. You are literally a bot. They just made you a movie that like was catered towards you. That has nothing to do with the comics, and you just ate that shit up and was like, "Yep, this is what we really wanted. This is what the people actually needed." No, bruh. I know what the people actually need.
Look
So
how
like I
they
said,
butchered the Guardians, my boys.
you know what? They did do good for the Guardians. I can't lie. But
Oh,
actually, no, not they. James Gunn. I'm not saying they. They did not do that, bruh. They trolled. But for my MCU, for me to start it off, I think first of all, you have to start with the Fantastic Four. You have to start with Marvel's first family. I think if you don't, you're trolling. I think the first phase of the MCU would start with the Fantastic Four like becoming a team
disgusting.
and taking down like a big threat like Galactus.
Bro,
And
what?
then that
Right off the bat?
that yes. Their first, or not their first villain, but like the thing that gets them noticed is they take down Galactus. Or they don't actually take him down. They just like get him to go away basically. But when they deal with him, the world, the entire planet knows about the Fantastic Four. And that inspires other people around the world to become superheroes.
Marvel's
When they see
first family.
exactly when they see this act, like it is like the beginning of the heroic age. So like before that point, people just live like us basically. They just live normal lives. They don't think about superheroes. Like they know that like comics exist and stuff about stories about people with powers, but that doesn't mean anything to them. But when
So
the
how'd you
Fantastic
deal with, like,
Four
Captain
does
America?
something on such a huge scale, then everyone's like, "Whoa, this is real," and that inspires actually both heroes and villains. So I think like people like Spider-Man would be convinced like that they should go out and help people after seeing the Fantastic Four and whatnot, or even villains as well. Like I said, see that and they're like, "Well, I can use my powers to actually do stuff. Let's do it." And that will start like the superhero and like supervillain age. That would be the beginning, like
So
phase one
so
of MCU.
so how would you deal with like characters like Captain America then, who are gonna take place before your story?
Captain America probably would. The origins would probably change for every character. For one, they wouldn't follow their original origin. So, like Captain America, well actually no, he could say the same. He just wouldn't be considered a superhero per se, because like he doesn't fly, he doesn't have super strength or anything. He's
Yeah,
basically just
yeah.
a guy with like who's peak human. So he would stay the same. And he's pretty much the only one that really matters that happens before that time. Like most people who existed before the Fantastic Four aren't known to people like that. For example, Wolverine is obviously older than the Fantastic Four, right? He's like
Yeah,
over
yeah.
100, but he works with like Nick Fury and was in the military, and like
He doesn't really
you don't
get
know every single
exposed.
person that's in the military. Like these are just people that like were
Yeah,
used for
yeah.
whatever need that they had, or like they might be like Black Ops or something.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
there's off the like people don't know about them at all. So like people before them can say the same. That doesn't have to change at all. But everything past the Fantastic Four would be different. And like in the comics, they are kind of the origin point of the universe. But I want them to play a bigger part. Like them actually be responsible for everything. So like even when we get to like phase 3 or 4 and like younger heroes start spawning, like they would still be inspired by the Fantastic Four, even if there was like a huge gap between when they first dealt with Galactus and when these heroes come on the scene.
Yeah.
But that would be like the big moment of the phase, right? That's like the whole purpose. Like for the villain, that it doesn't really matter. It can be someone like kind of small, low key, because like, actually, yeah, I think the villain doesn't have to be anyone big, because once they dealt with Galactus, I'm sure people wouldn't even think to fuck with them at that point. To be honest, like they'd just be like, okay, these guys did their thing. I'm not going to mess with them. But
So
we
this is
would
movie
have
one,
like,
right?
hmm,
This is movie one.
this is just overall what needs to happen in the phase. Like the first movie would be the Fantastic Four, for
Mhm.
sure, like taking down Galactus, but maybe the ending of that movie would be like Spider-Man like watching on TV, seeing them like a live broadcast of them talking about how they dealt with Galactus, and then being
Mhm.
like, whoa, and then like I don't know, like a Spider-Man theme song would play or something. You'd be like, okay, obviously he wants to become Spider-Man now, or like he's inspired to do good. And then like past the other heroes wanting to become heroes would be their own movies as well. I don't know who exactly I would start with, per se. Like I probably would still use the like key Avengers. Like Iron Man would probably be younger, I'd imagine. I don't think he'd be like the same age as Reed Richards, for example. 'Cause I think it'd be kind of weird for like a 40-year-old man to be inspired by another 40-year-old man doing good like that. But people's origins would be like newer, like they'd be less experienced. I think is one big thing that I'd want. Have you heard of Batman Year One?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I like that comic. How it's like a different Batman where like it shows him being really rusty. Same for the Batman actually. You know that's
They made
a little more
a
experience.
show that's kind of about that actually.
Really,
It's on
an animated show.
Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime. It's actually pretty good. It's kind
Really,
of like
wow, I didn't
showing
know that.
Batman's like early years. Yeah, it's in the
Mm.
and the cool thing. It's in the same art style. I think his name is Bruce Timm or something like that. The guy who made
Bruh.
the Batman animated series.
Mhm.
So that's pretty sick.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
I actually really do like that as well. I actually like, bro. I can, I feel like with the Marvel talk, I'm so like, I don't want to say uneducated, but I'm just not
Haha.
like okay, look. I have a Marvel, I have a MCU I kind of want as well.
Bro's gonna be like, okay, I want to start with Iron Man, then Iron Man
No.
Two, and I
Here's the
want
thing though. Here's the
Thor
thing
and
though. Here's the
Hulk,
thing though.
then
Here's
I
the
want an
thing though.
Avengers
Here's the
movie.
thing though. I'm not creative though. Like I'm not. I'm just not. And
Mm.
I've realized that. And I've seen that like I'm not really the type of person that can like if you go, hey, I want you to create this from scratch. I can't do that.
Yep.
But if you go, hey, here's my plan. I can give you adjusts. Like I feel like I can give you solid adjustments to that plan. Right
Okay.
now, I can't do this for like without doing any prep time. I can't do it for like the MCU, right? But
Yep.
I can do it for like DC movies. I have examples of DC
Oh
movies
my
I can
lord.
give you. Right?
He baited me. He baited me, dog. Was hyping up his whole MCU thing. He's like, wait, but Batman though.
All right, listen. All right, look. So like two changes I would have made to some DC movies, just like off the bat, like from the beginning. Not from the beginning, but just like off the bat. In the Blue Beetle movie, I don't know if you've seen it,
Yeah, I saw that
but for
movie.
some reason,
Movie's
right,
pretty
and
good.
I actually think it was a good movie, but why didn't they make his suit talk to him more? And I don't mean like obviously the suit talked to him in the movie, but it had like a Siri ass voice. I want the Blue Beetle like AI or not AI, but like
Kaji
it has an
Da?
actual name. Yeah, it has an actual name. I
The
want
Scarab's
him
name is Kaji
to
Da.
be all like, bro, let's murder these people, dude. Let's do
Mhm.
this, or like you know what I mean, like how we gotta get it in Batman Brave and the Bold, but especially in Young Justice. I feel like that was a very important dynamic that we would get from Jaime and from the Scarab, because obviously it's this kid who wants to do good, and he's like, what, kill? No. We're not doing that. Versus the homicidal like Scarab. I feel like we didn't really get that in this movie, which I like. It was one of the things that I actually really love about Blue Beetle. I love seeing that like kid aspect to him. Like that's what makes me relate to him. Like if I was a kid, or if I was that kid, I wouldn't want to be like a genocidal maniac. You know what I mean? Obviously, you
Yeah.
want to do good. So that's change one. Change two is that in the Flash movie, I would have liked if that Barry was actually the Reverse Flash, not whatever like Savitar-esque thing we got. Because that's kind of like the best. Savitar
You
was
want
the
him to
best.
be the Reverse Flash?
That universe is Reverse Flash.
Okay.
I have
Cook.
I have no. There's not. I don't have any ingredients, dog. I don't
Continue
have
to
any
cook.
ingredients. It's like I said. I'm just
Bro,
the
the
idea
steak
man.
is raw right now.
I'm
Or
just
rare,
the
I should
idea
say.
man.
It's rare. I'm like, I need to see where this is going.
I'm just the idea
I need
man.
to see the vision, bro. I'm like, okay.
No, okay. So it's just small changes like that, like or like what I would have loved to see, like what I'm hoping we'll see in James Gunn's DCU is I really want to see Batman taking young heroes under his wing. Cause like
Mm.
if you've played like the Injustice games or even like Batman Brave and the Bold,
Yep.
you see this, like you see Batman taking like a mentorship. He's not taking a direct approach where he's like training them every single day or he's like doing stuff, but he gets them involved. You know what I mean? He uses them, and yeah, like sometimes it's selfishly, but I feel like he still does set a good role model because everybody loves Batman. You know what I mean? And
Everybody loves
they want
Batman.
Batman to like him, and
True.
so obviously
They know
like
he's
they
Batman.
try their best to be good to impress him. And I
Mhm.
feel like it. I just feel like I feel like it ends up really well. So like, if we were gonna do a movie, like if the James Gunn's DCU, like I want to see that. And it doesn't have to be like direct. Like I think it'd be cool if like after Blue Beetle, like let's say we get another Blue Beetle movie, if at the end of it we
Yeah.
just get like an end credit scene. Same with like a Firestorm movie. If we just get like an end credit scene of Batman like meeting them, and then like I don't know, that's it.
Okay, so would you want like a big aspect of your DCU to be Batman mentoring these other heroes? Like, would that be a key aspect of this universe? Like something that would I guess DC doesn't have phases, does it, for its movies? They just kind of come out.
Bruh, I think they were trying to, but
It did not work.
I kind of like the Young Justice approach. To
Oh
be
my
honest,
gosh.
I can freaking like I can dissect Young Justice all day, but I really like the fact that like the way they have it is like the original Justice League people, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and then we have like them kind of training like the sidekicks like Robin, Aqualad, Speedy, etc.
Mhm.
And then what we get to see is those heroes growing up and training more heroes. And that's how we get introduced to people like Cyborg or I'm trying to think like Stargirl or just other people. And I feel like that's kind of what I want to see. I kind of like seeing
Mm.
this like path of mentorship.
Okay, so you just want a new season of Young Justice, is what you're saying.
Basically. No, okay, no, but
Bro baited me the whole time just to ask for another season
going
of
back
Young
going
Justice,
back
bro.
to going back to the MCU. I actually really do like your idea. Personally, and this is just me being like
Oh, here comes the
nah,
wrong opinion.
I don't yeah,
Be ready, y'all. Brace yourselves.
I don't want to say the average consumer. This is just me, right? I told you I do not care for the Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
I do agree that they do have an aspect like to Marvel, and they're obviously
First
Marvel's
family.
first family. They're important. I just could care less, like genuine
Mhm.
could care less. But I do think that it is a smart idea to start with them. Um, like okay, look, I'm gonna make changes to your idea because that's
Bro,
what
don't
I'm
be
good
changing
at.
my idea, DCU fan. Get out of here, bro.
No. It's just they're not necessarily changes. I just kind of want you to hear me, all right? So
All right, I'm hearing.
what about instead of at the end of like the Fantastic Four movie where they beat Galactus,
Mhm.
or instead of like them defeating him, it's more of like they have to stop his approach. They don't actually like confront him. They just know he's on the way or something. And then
No.
at the end of
No.
that phase
No. No.
is where
No.
they no at the end of that phase like that those four movies is where they actually defeat him with like the help of other heroes. So he's kind of like this looming threat for like only like 3 or 4 movies. I'm not saying to make him like a
Mhm.
Thanos level villain where he's like, oh my god, it's a big thing. No, it's more of like because I feel like Galactus is a big threat, and I feel like
He is, but he isn't though.
I've always liked seeing like whenever like at the end of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I've always liked seeing how when Galactus comes, they bring in the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. Um, I feel like Galactus is a good team up event so that you can get the movies you have at that time grouped up. So like if in your first phase you're introducing the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, maybe like Iron Man and Thor,
Mhm.
if like let's just say that those are the only 4 movies you have, I feel like those 4 would be a good like that'd be a good time to introduce Galactus as the villain for that phase. What do you think?
I don't think I want him to be a big villain. 'Cause I think he's useful because he's a villain that everyone knows is like a big threat, like in real life, not in universe, but like in real life, everyone knows like Galactus is world eater, right?
Hmm.
And it would be easy to be like, okay, let's make the huge villain be the final guy they take down, but instead, I want it not to be a big deal because for one, they don't ever fight Galactus because they can't. He straight up would just eat their planet. Everyone would just die, bro. Like I don't know what Earth's mightiest heroes taught you, bro, but the Avengers can do nothing to
That's why
Galactus.
they're the Avengers. They avenge.
They literally can. They just die. They just get eaten up, bro. They get swallowed whole. Like the Fantastic Four doesn't even fight Galactus. As a matter of fact, you know what? One thing I will say, I did kind of skip over some stuff. Like obviously, the Silver Surfer would have to be involved. They don't just talk to Galactus directly. Silver Surfer's kind of like the messenger, where they talk through him and be like, "Yo, maybe don't eat our world. That'd be pretty cool." And he's like, "Wait, you're kind of right." And he tells Galactus that. Galactus is like, "All right, fine, find me a new world." But I want it to be a big achievement because I want the world to feel hopeless at the beginning, but this big triumph that the Fantastic Four did inspires so much hope across the world. Because let's say it was just like,
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, you're right.
because like, or I guess Loki was kind of a big threat in the MCU. He was like taking out New York, but like, I want a huge threat that like literally inspires. Because like, people in the Middle East when they saw Loki attack New York, they probably just thought like, "Thank you, Allah, for not sending this upon like us," right? Whereas like it only attacked one
Thank
small piece
God
of,
it didn't
of
come here.
America. It is Allah Akbar. That's it. But I want it, like I said, to inspire hope, like for everyone, because I do want a lot of diversity, in the universe. Like I said, I want everything
you want
to
a black
feel.
man to be Captain America?
Honestly, let's get a Mexican Captain America, bro. Let's change it up, and like have actually no, actually, yeah, he can be Mexican. But I want things to be really different and like the direction to change. I really am big on subverting expectations, right?
Oh
And so
my
that's why I
God,
would
bro,
want
we
new
got
changes.
we got another Zack Snyder here.
Okay, but like I understand what's important though, because like I
No,
said,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No,
this universe.
I should do like your thing. I should do like your thing to make it like if you really want to inspire like hope. I should do kind of
Yeah,
like
I want
would
that
make
to be
sense.
like one of the key
I should do
principles
like
of the
that. I do like
universe.
that.
Like hope
like
is the
that.
big thing because I want for like phase 4, like way further down. I want Doctor Doom to be the main villain at that point. I want him to have the cosmic cube, right, which can rewrite reality, and I want the only change that he does is that the Fantastic Four never existed, and that will take away like all hope from the universe. Like the world would be actually I want to say the world's gonna be like apocalyptic.
Bro, wait, hold on.
But
I think I kind of zoned out. Wait.
Wh-
How did we
what
get from
part?
A to B?
Wait, okay. I said okay. So this is way far in the future, right? Doctor Doom is a villain,
okay.
follow me?
Yep. Okay.
right?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
He somehow acquires a cosmic cube,
Okay. Okay.
which can
okay,
rewrite
okay,
reality,
okay,
right?
Yep,
You
yep,
follow
okay,
me?
We got it. We got it. We got it. Keep
Okay, and
talking
the
about the
only
space stone. You mean the space stone? Yep.
bro, not only is he a DCU fan, he's an MCU fan. He's the worst of both worlds, bro. Oh my gosh. But the only change he does is just remove the Fantastic Four, like make them not exist at all. And then we see how people's lives would have turned out if they didn't exist, and everything is just like for the worse. Like obviously, Doom is able to capitalize off this and take over, but there's no hope in that world at all. How would it get resolved? I don't know yet, but I want that to be like the thing that's challenged later on in the series. Like not just the threat level in the sense that like, okay, so like Loki attacked New York, and then Ultron, or I don't know how much damage Ultron did, right? But
He destroyed
wait,
a
wait.
whole country, bro.
Really?
Bro, they
Okay.
leveled. Well, I guess he didn't level Sokovia, but the Avengers leveled Sokovia.
Okay, that means we go from city to country, and then Thanos is space, right? But actually, not even just that. He took out the entire or half of the universe, right? I don't want stakes to just increase like that way, where it's like
The whole
villain gets stronger,
multiverse.
does
The whole
Does what?
omniverse.
actually yeah. Look at Secret War. Secret War is gonna be multiverse too. Like
Speaking
want
about that.
the stakes to
Sorry,
change.
sorry to interrupt. I have actually been meaning to tell you this like for years. Do you remember when I used to say? Can you remember when like the multiverse was like a big thing? Not, I wouldn't say. I'd say the multiverse is a big thing now, but I say it's always been kind of like this big thing. It's just obviously brought more limelight because of
We're in
like,
the multiverse era of
movies?
movies right now.
Well, yeah. That's that's what I'm saying. But like to people like me and you who've been like watching like The Flash, for example, or even like just reading comics, like that's been a concept that's
Mm.
been around for a while. Do you remember when I
Yeah.
would tell you like, what if there's a multiverse where there is no multiverse?
Of course, dude. I thought it was stupid. I
Okay,
was like, what is
but
wrong with this
but
guy?
it is possible because there's an omniverse, and I actually do believe that. I mean, like that has to be true because like we're gonna off change it here or whatever. But like in certain movies, like how they like in my mind, how in the Flash we see like the we'll just say like the Nicolas Cage Superman, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's two Earths. There's an Earth where that Superman. There's two multiverses. The multiverse where that Earth died, and then a multiverse where it's thriving. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like everyone has a duplicate of everybody. That's how like that's in my mind how I justify like whenever I saw like the Crisis on Infinite Earths movies and they literally
Mm.
killed like the Teen Titans universe. It's just like, well, that's a different multiverse. Like that's not the multiverse where it actually exists, and that's just a multiverse that's like very similar to the one it takes place in.
Mm. Well, yeah, that's true, but it.
So then, that being said, there has to be a multiverse where there's just one Earth. There is no other multiverse.
Okay, but how is that interesting though?
I don't know, bro. It was just, it's just stupid.
Like I've thought about like the omniverse stuff, and actually that's canon to Marvel as well. Actually, in the comics, like the one above all.
Yeah.
The one above all is not the god of the Marvel universe. The one above all is the god of everything. Meaning, the one above all is the god of the DC universe. It literally is above everything. Like it is the god of the omniverse. And I'm like, okay, I mean it fits the name, but like, does that help the storytelling at all or anything? Like, I don't think it's that interesting to think like of actual infinite universes, right? Where like everything happened or like things don't happen, as if like the one multiverse where multiverses don't exist. Like, what is even interesting to think about that? To be like, yo, there's a universe where nothing else exists beside that thing. All right, conversation done. That's it. I don't know what to talk about.
I'm kind of curious to see when they're gonna go like, cause I feel like, the multiverse has been around for a while, and it's like one of the key concepts.
In terms of what?
Like in comics, I
Oh,
feel like the multiverse is a very standard like comic thing, right?
yeah, for
I'm
sure.
kind of curious on when they're gonna bring up like clones or like,
Bro missed the 90s.
well, I guess again, or also like clones, and then also what's the word, like, you know how, because you're talking about the cosmic cube, that made me think about it. You know how like they were like Captain America has
Space
always
Stone.
been evil.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
always
that was
been
so
evil.
stupid.
I kind of wonder when they're gonna do stuff like that in movies, like, but not even just like comic book movies, like just regular movies, like they're gonna be all like, I don't know, freaking the guy from Terminator. He's always been like evil. He's never actually been a good guy. Or like Dom Toretto's always been British. It's just how he's always been.
I think movies are too scared to do that. I feel like they'll fake you out with that stuff sometimes. To be like, oh, the main guy's actually evil. Or, actually, it's not usually that they were always evil, it's that they are evil now, or like they betrayed like who they were or whatever. But then by the end, it's like, oh, I was just acting. I wasn't actually like this. But to be honest, that'd be kind of interesting.
But I
to
mean,
do
like,
that.
for it to stick, because I mean, like, it did happen in I was about to say Fantastic Four. It did happen.
Oh, they were to say FNAF. I'm like, what?
It did happen in what's the Cars franchise with Dom Toretto?
Cars?
Yeah, it happened in Cars, where obviously like they were gonna kill Dom Toretto's kid or whatever, so that's why he turned on his people, but like it never sticks.
Yeah. You know what? I think movies in general, actually, maybe it's all forms of media. Actually, that's not true. For sure, movies, comics as well. Maybe not so much books, but I think they're scared of like lasting consequences. Like they don't like to like you said, they don't like to let things stick at all. So they
That is
do a
true.
big change. They do it temporarily because they're gonna be like, oh, everyone's gonna hate this, so we'll change it back the next movie or next comic or whatever. I'm like, bro, no.
What's the Spider-Man thing? One
Let the
day,
status quo change.
one more day.
That, you know what? It did change the status quo, but for the worse. But hey, at least they changed it, right? That's something. I'll give them that, even though it was stupid. It made zero sense.
Going back to Marvel, because I actually did think about this change. All right. So, all right, let's say I'm the intern, right? And they ask me, what do I think, right?
You're the one above all.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Do you think it would have been a good idea for, instead of having Infinity War and Endgame released back to back?
They should not have done that. Whatever you have to
Is
say,
if
first of all,
some-
that they should not have done that. That was
That's what I'm saying. If somehow they could have done like the movies that we're getting now, or even like maybe not all of them now, but like mix in a couple of movies that we've already gotten up to this point, and stick them in between that
Yes.
gap, and
Yes.
because like my whole thing was, this is what I was thinking, right? I think it would have been really cool if and I feel like it would have been the perfect way to introduce new heroes. Obviously, they couldn't really do it at the time
Exactly.
because they didn't have
bro.
like the properties. But I mean, like if in
Mhm.
between Infinity War, that's when the Fantastic Four comes up, because they're all like, well, we need new heroes. And I'm not saying them necessarily, but it's all like, we
Mhm.
need
Just
new
in
heroes.
general, new
Or
heroes
like
popping up.
that's how we get introduced to the X-Men, because like,
Yeah,
like
I'm here for the
that,
X-Men. I'm
that
here
big
for,
thing
wait.
makes
This is actually
human
genius.
evolves or something like that. You know what I mean?
Because now I'm thinking, since half like the humans are gone, right? The mutants, let's say mutants already exist, but they were like in hiding.
yeah.
Now that most of the humans are gone, they're not scared anymore. So now they come out and they do hero stuff. Now they're the main characters. But then, Endgame time, they come back. So now you have to deal with the fact that the world knows about mutants now, and now they're part of the universe.
Exactly. And like
That
and
would
like,
be
and like,
awesome.
I feel like we could have really gone like good movies, like or like we could have changed some of the shows for the better. Like, did you watch the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
My Captain America is not black, bro.
Bro,
No, I did not watch that.
Okay. Well, one of the big things that, and I feel like it's kind of stupid now, but one of the main issues of the show was that people that were displaced by no, that's actually a lie. What happened is that while people were gone for those, what was it, like 5 years or whatever,
5 years, yeah.
there was like no borders. People were kind of like living, like these people were harmonized. And then now that the Avengers like snapped again, the world went back to the way it was. So the terrorists in that movies wanted to go back to the way that things were during the effect of the snap. And the people in place, like the government that's back in place, they wanted obviously things to be the way that they used to be.
Yeah.
And then like at the end of the movie, at the end of the series, like Falcon kind of takes the helm and he's all like,
Don't call him Cap, bruh.
bro, come on.
Glad
He's
you corrected
Captain
the
America,
Falcon,
bro.
bruh.
He's
No,
Captain
he's
America.
not, bro.
He is now, dude.
He's an
He is now.
imitation.
Okay, Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon.
He's all like, bro.
I'm here
Have
for
you
it.
actually not watched that movie or the series at all?
My
Do you know, like,
Captain
any
America
clips
is
about
not
it?
black. How
Do
did
you
I
know?
have to tell
Do you
you,
see any
bruh?
clips? You see any clips?
I
from
saw
it?
the one bad joke that they had in it.
I'm a black man wearing stripes, wearing the stars and stripes. What do you mean I don't know about that one?
I don't even remember. I just remember I saw something. I was like, this is crazy as hell, bro. I'm not watching this.
Anyways, wait. Okay, hold on. Wait. I
No, I've never seen it.
I never got your opinion. Did you watch She-Hulk?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you like it?
She-Hulk's one of my go comic book characters. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. Thank God. I also kind of
Yeah.
liked it too. I actually
liked
thought
it.
it was actually pretty good.
Like,
it was
they kind of
actually
scared
cool.
me at the beginning, because, like, they were kind of doing too much feminist stuff at the beginning. When she was talking about, like how what she goes through is worse than what the Hulk goes through. I'm like, okay, bro. Like, I know you're trying to hype up women to be like, hey, this woman gets angry too and has to deal with problems. But it's like, okay, bro. Like, this is the Hulk. I don't think it's a good character to do this with.
I think my
but,
only issue.
But past that, I think they did amazing.
I think my only issue with that, and like I actually liked She-Hulk more than a lot of other movies like we got. Like I actually like it more than like Ant-Man, Quantumania,
Oh, dang.
or like Thor: Love and Thunder. To be honest, like even though I actually did enjoy those movies, story wise I didn't really like them, but just like as general movies I liked them. I actually do think that I like the story a little bit more. I just kind of wish that for She-Hulk we got a little bit more. Okay, look, this is like another change I would make. She-Hulk to me, like if I had to make She-Hulk, it would have been like kind of how how Criminal Minds or any of those like cop shows or lawyer shows or whatever, it's always like a new case of the week. Every episode would have been like a different case in the MCU, like a actual law show, where we have like, all right, today's episode is gonna be like how, I mean, we kind of got a little bit of it, but I feel like we should got more. How like Titania was versus whatever, or this person was against this person. You know what I mean? Like it would have been like, it would have shown us more villains in the MCU that we hadn't seen before. It would have been a good way to introduce certain people like Titania, or like what's the people they're called, like the construction crew or something like that.
The Wrecking Crew.
The Wrecking Crew. Yep.
Wow, the Wrecking Crew are in She-Hulk. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that.
Like it would have been more. It would have been more like that.
Forgot
which
all about that.
I wish we could have been able to see that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they definitely could have done a bit better with She-Hulk, but I am so fine with what we got. And as a matter of fact, the Daredevil episode is probably the best thing the MCU has ever done, if I'm being honest.
It was actually pretty good.
No
yeah,
cap.
I did like that too.
Like, I'm including movies too. I think it's the best thing they've ever done. That episode was perfection. Like, I was like, they actually read a freaking comic book, bruh.
It was
and
pretty
just pulled
good.
it straight from it. They didn't pull a Kevin Feige and made their own thing. They didn't do their own thing like Miles Morales, bruh. No. They just pulled from a source material, and it was obviously good. And I'm like, thank God, someone finally got a brain, bro, at Marvel. I hope that they use her again for stuff, but we'll see.
I'd be down to make a video with you over
how we're gonna rewrite the DC, right?
No,
and make it Young Justice. I'm here for it. I'm in. You don't have anything. I'm in.
Basically, how we can not necessarily like remake the MCU in our own image, but I guess make changes and like how that would flow. You know what I mean? Because I actually do feel like for the most part, I'm okay with the MCU before, Endgame or before Infinity War. I'd say afterwards is where it starts getting like.
For
downhill.
sure, declines there.
So, like, if you were to ask me the question, like, how would you remake the MCU in your own image? I actually think I would probably keep everything, like, from the previous phases. Maybe I'd make small changes here and there, but, like, I kind of do like what we got. It's just how would I do things from a certain point onward. Because, like I said, I'm not a creative person.
Yeah, I would give the MCU a fresh cut, bro. We going bald. I'm not keeping the current MCU, bro. We changed it from the first movie, bro. I could not say that I would like. I mean, I could obviously like make changes to the MCU because overall, what we got, I'll say it. What we got is not as good as the comics, but for the most part, it's fine. Like, I think they did what they could.
So what don't you like then? What don't you like about the MCU? Like. Beforehand.
Okay, there's actually a few things. Bro, I should have wrote this down about what I don't like about the MCU. One thing that I always think about, because Dom kind of put me on this, which kind of sucks, but their costumes, they're scared to be comic booky. Like, they're scared to be cartoony and, like, stupid.
Yeah, that actually
Every
is true.
MCU suit is armor made by the military. It's not, like, I don't even want to say comedic. It's not like they're comedic. It's just, like I said, like kind of like cartoony, almost like childish. Like no one really wears like cloth or anything. It's always some super like over-designed actual armor. I think that's kind of an issue because it's like part of comics that makes them awesome is that they're stupid. They don't need to be serious. Like everything about it is not serious. Like the hero, like look at people like even like Spider-Man, right? That's obviously not realistic at all for this genius 15-year-old kid to be like, okay, I bit by a spider, now I need to help people, or I'll become a wrestler and like make money off of it. Like all the stuff he does, maybe during the 60s that would happen, but like nowadays,
that part is actually kind of realistic. I'll become a wrestler.
Becoming a wrestler
that actually does kind of sound like a 14-year-old's mentality.
I think.
But yeah.
They don't know
what you mean.
really what makes okay, obviously they're movies, right? They're not comics, but they can literally just copy everything from the comics, turn it into a movie, and they have gold.
I think,
but they want to put their own spin. But bro, I'm saying my own opinion. What do you mean? I'm looking at the wrong issue.
No, okay. It's more like okay. I'm saying like I think your anger is directed in the wrong place because it kind of sounds like you're mad at like the filmmakers for wanting to put their own spin on it when you should be mad at man, this is gonna make me sound like freaking like a liberal, or this is gonna make me sound like a douche, but you should be mad at maybe one society or
One
two,
society.
money, because obviously they're making the movies for the audience, and it's not like the comic book fans. They're making it for the audience because they want to make money, which sucks.
Yeah.
So like it's like, but it's obviously like if they had like unlimited money, I feel like the movies like I feel like if they could, they would just go for the comics. Like they would just make it comic accurate 100%,
You
but they
think
can't
so?
do that.
I
Well,
don't think
because
they would.
because okay,
'Cause let's say money wasn't
if
an
they
issue.
do that, if
Overall,
they
they
do
want
that,
people to watch it.
well, yeah, but the thing is, I don't think they're gonna get the same numbers. They're gonna get the comic book fans, which is yes, but how many comic book fans are there? Like in turn
Three.
compared
There's
to
three
the
now.
compared to the world.
Well,
You
yeah,
know
that's
what I
that's why I
mean?
think even if money wasn't an issue, they would still market the movies the way they currently are. They're not marketed towards comic book fans.
Well, yeah,
Actually, it's the
that's
same for like anything that's any like game that's been adapted, for example. They don't market towards people who played the game. They market it towards people who haven't seen it, but they want to get them as an audience as well. And so oh wait, I don't think. I guess my anger is
wait. I'm
misplaced
actually
because
kind of stupid.
I still blame the MCU for everything. Like, what does that mean per se? I don't know or care, but I blame the MCU for several things.
So
Whether
what
or
are stuff
not
you
they
don't like
had.
then? Like specific things.
All right, let me continue. I said I don't like that they're kind of afraid to like actually be comic booky in terms of the suits.
Did you
The
see
same
Hawkeye?
kind of goes. Hawkeye, yeah. Mm.
Did you see his suit? Because I actually really love that.
Hawkeye had a suit in Hawkeye.
He got like a comic suit. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I only remember Kate Bishop's.
I'll show you a picture, but keep on
suit.
going. Keep on going.
But I think like I said, they're afraid to like do things that the comics do because they'd be considered stupid, and they sometimes don't understand the characters. For example, Spider-Man from the MCU is not Spider-Man. That character is not what Spider-Man is supposed to be at all. Like I like Spider-Man in the MCU. I think he's actually really cool, but he isn't Spider-Man. And I don't. I mean, I guess I get why they changed him the way they did, but I think why? You had
In terms of what?
Spider-Man.
In terms of what?
What the character is and like stands for is not the same in the
So
MCU and the comics. So like
give
for
me
example,
yeah.
so for example, okay, first I guess this issue kind of got fixed later. Maybe this was like a rights thing, but like Tony Stark was like his dad pretty much in the MCU. Like that was his mentor for real. That was the guy that put him on the right path. But if you know the Spider-Man story, that's not what happened at all. Like it was Uncle Ben. And you know what? They did make up for that because they made like Aunt May be like his Uncle Ben in the MCU. But the character is kind of just like, you know what? The MCU
Have you heard the theory?
Spider-Man. What?
Well, have you heard the theory that or I don't know if it's a theory, if it's this is what I believe and this is what I see. Maybe that's made me also like be happy with it, but maybe I've just kind of like abused myself into believing it's true. But that the
Bruh.
3 movies that we saw for Spider-Man were his origin story, like, and
Yeah, Dom said that
afterwards now we are getting like an actual, we should be getting a comic accurate Spider-Man in the future, like in
Yeah,
these next
I
movies.
I do think that's going to happen actually with
Which
everything.
I actually do like that. Like I actually like, this is the one change I'm actually here for, because I actually do like that. Like because like Spider-Man has always been like this kid who's always been on like, no, I need to be Spider-Man above everything else. My personal life comes second, and we see a like opposite of that in Far From Home, Far From Home, and kind of in No Way Home, where he's like just wanting to separate his lives completely. But I think like being able to see him and see the reason why, because like the only reason why he is like that in, I don't want to say comics because I don't really read comics, but like in like TV shows that I've seen of him is because of Uncle Ben. But I feel like that one loss shouldn't really. Well, I guess it can. I don't know. I just like that we got a more in-depth reasoning to his whole with great power comes great responsibility, because I feel like he really does understand that now, or he for sure understands that now with these last 3 movies.
You know what? I have 2 things. Like a response to that, and what was I gonna say? Okay, also about Spider-Man, bro. He's not okay. He is now, but like he wasn't even poor in the MCU, bruh. That is such a fundamental trait about Spider-Man. That he literally has no money at all. and bro was actually like working for Tony Stark.
He was not though. What are you talking about? He was living in an apartment with his aunt. We see that all his computer stuff he
Bro, that's
got like
not
from him,
poor.
like he
What
made
do
it
you
himself.
mean? What do you mean? He's
He
literally not. Bro, Tony Stark made him a suit. How is that poor?
well, no, but that okay, but he didn't make it though. Obviously, he got gifted a suit. But look at his
Bro,
suit.
a
Look
poor
at the
person
suit.
does
Look at the
not
suit he
get
made.
gifted a suit.
Look at the suit that he made.
Mm-hmm. And that's how it should be. But it's not how it ended up.
Well, no, his suit was trash. His suit was dirt poor. I actually don't mind. I don't mind that they gave him a suit. I don't mind. What I don't like is that he got to keep the. I don't mind his original suit. I do wish it wasn't as robotic and as like technical because I feel like Peter would have made his own stuff. That's my only complaint. And I guess the only other thing I don't like is the fact that he got another suit or he got like 3 suits from
Exactly.
Tony. That I don't like. So I agree with your sentiment, but only to a certain point.
No, I don't think they know. I think they just wanted to use Spider-Man to fit in with the story they wanted to tell. And also, the MCU Spider-Man is literally just Miles Morales. Every trait that people like about the MCU Spider-Man comes from Miles Morales' origin. Him being a kid superhero, him idolizing, I guess, the Avengers, but Tony Stark in the MCU. Him having Ned Leeds as his guy in the chair,
Yeah.
that's from Miles Morales. That's not from 616, bruh. Everything that everyone likes with MCU came from Miles Morales. That's not Peter Parker. Everyone's like, this is my Peter Parker. This is the real Peter. No, you don't know. You don't know anything, bro. You just got spoon-fed what the MCU told you is Spider-Man. You're like, yeah, I guess it's Spider-Man. Good enough for me. And you know what? People are allowed to feel that way, right? Nothing wrong with that. It's just wrong. That's how I feel about it. Like, ultimately, like, it's just wrong. And it's funny I say this now because obviously I didn't always have the comic knowledge that I did, and I was one of those MCU bots. But now that my eyes have been opened, I'm like, bro, I can't stand for this no longer, bro. Like, they call the MCU 616 too, bro. That's why I'm like, bro, Kevin Feige doesn't even know what Marvel is about, bro. He just like, oh, this is a cool IP. Let's do something with it.
Though you know what something actually gets me really mad is the fact that this is a big ass company and that there are a bunch of canonical errors or like mistakes in the movies. Like you're telling me that they don't have like a group of like 10 guys who's or actually well, a group of like 10 guys whose job is it to just watch all the movies before they release a new one.
I wonder about
and
that
be
too,
all
to
like
be honest.
and be all like, hey, we need you to look at the draft and compare what we have like story wise. Is there anything in this draft that like goes against anything we've already like stated or like done? You know what I mean? And the one thing that actually surprises me is the fact that like none of them talk. Like if like for What If, like there is a statement that came out that the creators was like, yeah, we didn't know that
They didn't know the
had
X-Men
access to the X-Men
were part of the
because-
MCU.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, do you guys not communicate? Like, is there no like overarching plan that you guys have for like? Are you guys literally just? Well, I guess we're releasing this movie at this time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you guys not have a fundamental story? And I mean, obviously they don't because I mean, look at the mess that's we've been handed. But it's like, do you not at least have a group of guys whose job is to just watch the movies and make sure that there's no errors?
Bro, it really only takes like 2 or 3 people, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Like, you don't have to even pay him that much, bro. He could be a fan, honestly.
Literally, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bro,
I never wondered why like series that have like long continuities don't do that, or like maybe they do. I just don't know. But I'm like, isn't this so genius?
Well, those
to do
guys need to
this?
be fired. I hope that those guys get fired. I hope that like the freaking what's the word? I hope that the rate of somebody being in that job is very low, like the amount of time because they're not doing their job.
No, for real. For real. But okay, I think we need to close out.
I was just saying,
soon.
we've been going for an hour.
I will final statements about the MCU. I will say, MCU sucks balls, no cap, but I will still continue to watch the movies.
So lie. Are you excited for? I guess real quick. How did you? What? Okay. I'm gonna do a quick list of movies. I'm gonna ask if you like them, yes or not. All right. Eternals.
All right. That movie, bro, it can actually put me to sleep faster than anything I've ever watched in my entire life, bro. If I'm ever tired or like can't go to sleep, I'll put on Eternals. Fall asleep immediately every time. Never got past the 5-minute mark.
I actually like the Eternals more than a lot of movies, like a lot of other movies. Ant-Man and Quantumania.
Awesome. Overhated. Really, really good movie.
I will say I liked it, but I was a little bit let down, like with it. Like I do want
Mm.
more, and that movie I can go into like changes about what I would have liked to see.
Bring Kang
Um,
back. No cap.
for real. You know, I actually do have to say this. The one thing I loved about the anime movies was the fact that like we got to see him be miniature, and like we see like on anime in the Wasp where he like runs across a knife. Like, it's
Mm.
that's what makes its movie. We didn't really get that. I feel like it wasn't really an Ant-Man movie. Anyways,
Bro,
how'd you
because he didn't
feel
become Ant Man.
about Thor: Love and Thunder?
Awesome. Overhated. I liked it.
Mm,
I think they kind of trolled a little with gore, unfortunately, but still a good movie. And it put me on Sweet Child O' Mine. It was really funny.
Guardians 3.
Kinda overhyped, but it was a pretty good conclusion to the Guardian story.
I think my only complaint was the intro. I didn't really like the whole like Planet of Misfits thing. I thought that was kind of
Oh, I forgot about that.
that was my only thing.
Really, really sad. Too.
Oh, dude,
Very
made me
sad
cry.
movie. I wish
Uh,
people actually died though. That was a troll.
That is true. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to episode 2. I
Of the
guess we have
TG
the TG
podcast.
podcast. I guess we have a lot more topics and we can talk about this a lot more.
Yes, sir.
But yeah.
Can't wait
Thanks.
for next week, episode 3.
And
Baby.
see ya.
So yeah, that's about it. See ya.